You've created a plan for your restoration project. You've talked with your partners, figured out what data collection protocols to use, and established your data management plan. Now it's time to map out how your team is going to accomplish the work. A roles and responsibility matrix can help prevent confusion about who is responsible for various project tasks. These types of matrices are used routinely by professional project managers. You can use one to keep your project on track. After watching this video, you will be able to draft a roles and responsibilities matrix for a restoration project, identify common monitoring cadences that work well for restoration-based citizen science projects, describe the roles of a project manager for your restoration-based citizen science project, and know where to find additional information that builds on this video series. A roles and responsibilities matrix is a chart that maps out all the key responsibilities for a project by role. Usually, the matrix will list key responsibilities down the left column and key individuals by name or by role across the top. In the boxes, your team will determine who is responsible for, who is accountable for, who needs to be consulted on, who needs to be informed about, and sometimes who needs to be a quality reviewer for various tasks of your project. The first letter of each role, R, A, C, I, and Q, are used to depict each role in the matrix. Pause the video and take a moment to create a draft roles and responsibilities matrix for your project. You can do this with a pencil and paper or your favorite spreadsheet software. You may choose to leave the matrix blank and fill it out completely with your team later. Or you can begin filling in roles and responsibilities that have already been assigned and then complete the rest in consultation with your team. Once your draft is ready, gather your team of collaborators to talk it over. Some roles and responsibilities will be obvious to everyone. Others will not. Discussing the matrix as a team will help identify less obvious roles, clarify who should have responsibility for them, and identify gaps where additional help may be needed. There may not be an obvious answer for every role at the end of this first meeting. That's okay. Let your team take time to think about the roles. Set up a follow-up meeting to revisit any undecided responsibilities. Let's look at an example from an actual restoration and citizen science monitoring project. Here you can see the tasks involved in this project listed on the left, including developing bird monitoring protocols, approving privacy policies, and hosting an initial kickoff meeting with partners. The names of people involved in the project are listed across the top, in some cases with their titles or affiliations. Including affiliations is useful for identifying who is accountable when staffing changes occur or project objectives shift. In each cell of the matrix, roles have been assigned so everyone knows who is responsible, accountable, or needs to be consulted or informed for each task. In rare cases, a cell may be empty if a person has no role for a particular task. Once the roles and responsibilities are laid out, it's time to think about how long different tasks may take. Although your project will have its own timeline, knowing some commonalities may help during your planning. If feasible, try to plan to capture pre- and post-restoration data for the biological and physical components of the site. Birds, plants, water quality, and macroinvertebrate communities all have different requirements for monitoring to be considered. Many restoration projects include some aspect of monitoring for birds, plants, and water. Consider how many seasons within a year and between years of data you will need to make the monitoring data useful for the project. For example, for birds and plants, you'll need to plan appropriate times of year to capture meaningful data about the communities. It may take 2, 3, or more annual sampling efforts of plant data after a restoration is completed to capture data on annuals, biennials, and perennials. bird communities may initially be disrupted by restoration work but slowly return to the site over a few seasons. The takeaway is that most meaningful monitoring projects for restoration sites aren't going to happen over the course of 1 or even 2 years. On the other hand, there may also be a point at which continued monitoring wouldn't add enough value to a project to justify cost. For example, monitoring soil conditions at the site once every 2 to 3 years, but only for a 10-year time frame, may be sufficient. Each site will be unique, and you can get a sense for what is appropriate for your site by talking with science experts on your team. Finally, assign someone to be the project manager for the monitoring effort, preferably someone who isn't wearing too many other hats. The project manager can be responsible for convening partner meetings, tracking the progress of different parts of the monitoring project, negotiating challenges, and, most importantly, ensuring your project gets done as close to on time and within budget as possible. With a project manager, each partner can focus on their roles, while the project manager makes sure it all works together. In the next video, we'll focus on how to bring your project to a successful close and share the project story in a meaningful way. For more information about this video series, visit doi.gov/restoration.